Hi people, welcome to Bouquet Jazz Dance. I want to share with you, as an individual, I was inspired by architecture and design. My style was developed by architecture and design, design in records, design in architecture, design in hair, design in fashion, every aspect of design, aviation, train, cars, motorbikes, etc. The reason why design was important because I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer or mechanical engineer. That's what I was doing. I did a YTS and I was using mechanical engineering. Why? Because I wanted to be an RAF officer pilot. I wanted to be in the Red Barons. If people got this as an individual, it's important for people to have an understanding. I want to share with the individual there's been a miseducation on UK jazz dance, a misrepresentation, a misinterpretation. The reason is nobody's fault. It just happened that the commercial world led it, and commercial guys were not interested in education until later on as an individual. And then what happened, there was a miseducation in their education, so therefore miseducation just continued, misinterpretation, misrepresentation. What happened was this art form came with a role and responsibility to engage African diaspora young people to develop their own inquiry mind, to develop their own analytical thinking, to develop their own independent thinking. That's what it's about, because the society at large had taken that away from them by identifying that Western education was superior to their own education. So they defied the society at large and created their own unique, independent jazz dance style, culture, lifestyle, cultures and movements. And it was unique, north, south, east and west of the UK differently. Do you understand? Individuals. So what happened as a dancer, I became an individual, became an activist in respect to identifying what's happened. There's been a miseducation, there's been a misinterpretation, misrepresentation. We need translators, we need experts from the dancers who can articulate what's the role and responsibility of the dance. How do we use it? Remember, West Indies is not the first time West Indies have created jazz dance, is it? Right, okay. It's important. So history repeats itself twice. Oppression of a people, the language got taken away, opportunities to create and develop oneself had been taken away. What do? You create a subculture to do what? To enhance your ability to use your analytical thinking, your inquiry mind, your curiosity, to reclaim your music, dance and drum, which has been taken away from you. And that's what we did as individuals. And what happened, we created lifestyles out of it, we created cultures out of it, and we created movements out of it. And it all started from Dance It Out. Nobody knew that there'll be something called UK jazz dance. Nobody. We actually called it jazz dance in the beginning. Nobody knew it was going to have UK underground jazz dance styles and etc. It would be in the commercial world. It would be in Japan. It would be in Europe. People on stage, backing bands who were dancers. People came singers. People came actors. Whoever knew that? Nobody did. When it first started out, it was just us dancing it out to jazz and derivative jazz music. That's how it started. And that's where the miseducation has come, because nobody wanted to be an educator except myself as an individual, because I was trained politically by my parents. Education, oral history, history of your art is important to give people understanding. And they say understanding is the key to learning. So many people, to understand learning of UK jazz dance, you have to know there's a miseducation. The idea was not for people to clone other people's steps. It was to be inspired to create your own, because the art form's a live improvisational art form. What we have around the world is people cloning Brothers in Jazz style, people cloning Perry Lewis style, Jazzatech, IDJ. Exactly the same moves. That can't work out, because bebop musicians, modern musicians, cool musicians are the individuals that we drew on for our values. That's what instilled in our parents. Our parents said, son, explore, devise, create something original from Miles Davis. Don't copy Miles Davis. Learn from him. Learn from him. Study him. What was he about? What he did? Where did he come from? Etc. Study Charlie Parker, this and that. And then create your own from it. Because it's all about you developing your own original thinking, your own solutions to your own hardships, to your oppression, how to express it. So I'm only an activist, I'm an artist. So imagine I'm expressing myself only through Irvin Lewis's steps, expressing myself only through IDJ steps, expressing myself through Jazzatech steps. Don't work out, does it? draw upon it, I've got no problem. But people all over the world are looking the same. It was cloning. That's swing. You're doing what swing did. And what happened was bebop and cool and modern came because the swing bands were playing the same music inside out every week, year in, year out. The same way, same notes with no changes. Till basically Count Basie came. And you have to know what Count Basie did. They had head arrangements, which always kept the improvisation, always improvising every night. Do you understand? And that was in Chicago. It's important that people understand this. So part of my work is to share with people that what happened. The dancers found their own ways to develop their own creative processes and principles. One of mine, I looked at architecture and design. I told you I was an engineering, YTS, mechanical engineer, student for 6 years as an individual. And what happened was, that's where I got some of my ideas from. Blue K Jazz, that's out.